guys, welcome back to the Pineapple Party Podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pineapple Party Podcast. My name is Jensen and I'm your host. And today we have an amazing, a very, very special guest. We have TV host, MC, celebrity interviewer, and content creator, the multi-talented Mr. Daniel Cheang. Welcome to the Pineapple Party Podcast. How are you doing?
Ooh, sup? What's up, everybody? Oh, so we're having a pineapple party here. I really like the name though. It's smart.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, like we were talking about before we started the podcast, it's just something that my friends and I came up with. And I think it was some joke about pineapple being on pizza or something like that. And then we just kind of ran with it.
Are you on pineapple on pizza or no pineapples on pizza?
Oh, yes, pineapple on pizza.
Oh, okay.
Are you?
It's so much better.
Let's go. Okay, that's perfect. That's the way to do it. Because everyone's like, oh, pizza's not supposed to be sweet, it's supposed to be savory. Well, like, who are we to tell like what pizza's supposed to be, you know?
Right.
If it tastes good, it tastes good.
For sure, I know the Italians would say like, that shouldn't be any.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a fucking thing, right? But I don't know. I think I like the pineapple on pizza much better.
Yeah, I like the pineapple on pizza too. So that's why we turned it into the Pineapple Party Podcast, and then so shout out to them. They were very much literally the day ones, and now it's a podcast where I talk to, again, people from different walks of life, people from different backgrounds, industries, careers, and just people that I find very interesting in general. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you on.
How interesting is interesting on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, it's very subjective, right?
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So
I really, really appreciate it. Very flattered as well.
Thank you very much. Well, on the Jensen scale, you guys are all very, very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. If you can you tell us, can you describe what you do in one sentence?
What I do in one sentence? Oh, damn. Okay. I'll give you in 10 words. I'll try.
Yes, sir.
Daniel is a TV host. I'll consider that as one.
All right.
Creator.
That's another word.
From Penang, hybrid. Dreamt of doing this forever. Okay, it's more than 10, but
Let's go. No, I just counted 10. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all hyphenated.
Yeah, I think someone who grew. I'm a hybrid. Multicultural in terms of like my background, and then I'm from Penang, and yeah, I think I'm just a boy who really likes connecting to people. I think that is pretty much the essence of me. Like, I'm very approachable, very nice, very friendly, very open, and yeah, I think that's just me and more than a sentence. But yeah.
Well, that's amazing, and I can definitely attest to that. Which part of Penang are you from, actually?
The island. If this is a debate about like the mainland or island, then it's island, the Georgetown. Yeah.
I'm from the mainland, actually.
Oh
yeah. I'm from Bukit Matajam.
I see.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Area.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Well, and you said
I would ask that whether if you're like mainland or the island.
Yeah, it's like a if you know kind of situation.
Yeah.
Well, you said you grew up in a multicultural background.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just mean because Malaysia is a multicultural country, or?
Let me be a little bit more specific. Sorry. Maybe multicultural isn't the most accurate word. Mixed heritage. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yes, because I grew up in Malaysia, so it is a multicultural society where I go to school and everything, and the people that I'm surrounded with. It is multicultural in that sense. If I were to be a little bit more specific, I'm mixed heritage. So my dad's Chinese, and then my mom's a Malay, Muslim. So that's what I meant. I grew up in a Chinese household, but also have all the Malay accent in me. So like it's just a amalgamation of two cultures together. Yeah, so that's what I meant by hybrid and also mixed heritage stuff.
Right. And that's very interesting. And if you don't mind me asking, do you think that the fact that you are of mixed heritage lent in any way, shape, or form to how you are as a person now? And how does it affect your career?
I would say there's always pros and cons. I mean, like, because due to my upbringing, right, and the fact that I am in a Malay industry, there is a huge clash in there. In fact, I've never thought in a million years that I would start off with the Malay market, the Malay industry. So that is one thing that was like, it wasn't in my head in the first place. Like, I grew up with TVBs, like all these
Yeah.
home dramas and stuff, and then grew up in the Chinese household. I am very much Chinese cultured growing up. I do have the Malay cultures lah, but it's just like it's like garnishing a little bit, But then like the foundation of it, it's very Chinese. So as much as it is an advantage, but it is also a cons in some aspects because like it's very hard for me in terms of work to fit in because like all I know and all I've been fed is like Wong Kar Wai, Zesima and all these celebrities,
Yes.
that is all Chinese. And then going to the Malay market, I actually had to start from scratch. So there was a lot of like doing up homeworks from A all the way to Z, and then like from referencing what are the jokes, inside jokes, people that grew up with. So like there's a lot of work there, but that is in the aspects of my career because that's where I started with the Malay market. But in terms of how I am as a person, I think it's really good because being mixed cultured, not just mixed culture, but mixed heritage growing up. So that gives, I feel like it makes me a much more edgier person because there are more things to talk about
Yes.
and I'm open to more things like the fact that I know how is it like in the Chinese household and I also know how is it like in a Malay household if not entirely but there is like 50% or 60% there, so I feel that has opened my mind a lot. It forms the way how I behave, how I speak, how I talk to people, how I think, and that's very important when it comes to my job because how you articulate your message, how you think in certain ways and stuff. So it all reflects here, your image. So I feel that has helped a lot. And it is a good thing, I would say. I feel like the good outweighs all the bad because, like, all this stuff you can figure out. Like, like how we have all this K-pop culture. You didn't grow up in Korea, but still you know, like what do they eat and stuff like that. So I think in that aspect, it's something that I can pick up, like how I picked up for my job all the Malay language and everything. But yeah, so I do feel like the good outweighs everything, and I'm really glad to to be born into a family that is of mixed heritage.
And I think it just opens your life up to very unique experiences, right? Because
Yeah, very, very unique experiences.
yeah, because I'm guessing even if we're just on the topic of holidays, you get to go, Chinese New Year, you get to visit your relatives, but Raya, you also have the open house.
That's right. That's right. So like I always have different stories to offer, like because multicultural society. So you've got the Malay groups, you've got the Chinese groups, you've got the Indian groups. Some they're mixed there and stuff. So like you always have different stories to offer on the table. Like when I'm on the show, when I work, like I'm always handy when they meet a person of Chinese topic.
Mm.
Like living in a Chinese household. How do you do this? And I can always relate it back to myself. Like, oh, this is how the Malay works. But back in Chinese household, we would do this, and this. And not just holiday, but basically everything encompasses everything. So I feel, yeah, it's pretty cool. There's always different experience, different stories to offer on the table, be it from the Chinese side or the Malay side.
Yeah, and I mean for me, I'm Malaysian Chinese or Chinese Malaysian, however you want to call it. But I grew up overseas, and I feel quite similar in the sense that I can understand multiple perspectives, and I can relate to multiple backgrounds, despite thinking to myself, oh, I'm just Malaysian who grew up overseas. But because I grew up overseas, you get to meet people from all over the world, right? You're in an international setting, so you know how to, okay, how do I not really code switch, but like how do I talk to, someone who is Malaysian? How do I talk to someone who might be from another country? How do I conduct myself? How do I appeal to others? How do I socialize? How do I connect and that kind of thing,
I wholly agree on that. In fact, I was just catching up and fresh off the boat. Just recap all the
Oh yeah?
yeah, yeah. I fresh off the boat is something that I really, really like. So I guess I totally understand what you're saying. The fact that Chinese Malaysian growing up in the States or like anywhere overseas. So I can see how like we're different, but yet still pretty much similar. How,
Yeah.
like values and stuff that's still there, be it wherever you are. So yeah, it is quite an interesting experience for yourself, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. And the funny thing is, when I meet people who lived overseas as well, um, regardless of where they're from, right? Maybe they could be from Indonesia but grew up in the States. They could be, South African but grew up in, I don't know, Europe. There's always this inside joke that international school kids or international like third culture kids can identify each other just by looks.
Can you?
Yeah, because like when I talk to some people and they're like, "Oh, I grew up overseas," I'm like, "Oh, I could tell." It's like, "Oh, you're not from around here." Like, "Oh, you grew up overseas." So yeah, I was born here, but I lived in XYZ for however long. So it's very interesting. But yeah. So moving on to what you do for career, what attracts you to media? What about hosting, emceeing, interviewing, and other forms of media work that you've done bring you satisfaction?
Okay, so I would say that how I got into all of this is pretty much accidental. Like, to be honest, like, growing up, I've always wanted to, like, although it changes, but then, like, it was never somewhat in the media line. And then I think, in fact, growing up, I never knew there was like, oh, this is a career, because like we're so accustomed to like, is that a doctor or a lawyer or like, this and that, all these professionals. So like growing up, I wanted to be like professor at one point, and by professor, I meant because growing up on Cartoon Network, there's always Powerpuff Girls, and then the professor. I'm like, okay, I think all those chemical mixing seems really fun. So like I think in today's context, it will be a chemist lah. I feel so. I wanted to be a chemist at one point, and then it changed, and then I wanted to be a pilot at one point, just because it looks like fun lah. So once again, because like I don't know, God knows how many lives would have been in danger. I'm just saying that I haven't experienced, flying, and so I wouldn't know. But just saying that, yeah, it changes over the years, of course. But one thing never changes. When I was in school, I was always that kid that would find extra stuff to do, extra stuff that weren't part of the curricular activities, extra stuff that don't even give you marks for anything, but yet I get the satisfaction of doing it. So I initiated this thing called like, I mean, there was editorial board, but it was pretty dead at my school that time. It was very like, so I aspired to be like, oh, let's change this. We can be as good as other schools. Like let's just change it up. Let's do something about the editorial board. So I formed a team, and then I was the editor in chief for like at least I think it was about three years of my schooling years as the
Okay.
editor. So I run the project. I did that whole ad board thingy. So that gave me satisfaction, and that wasn't part of the curricula. It was just something very extra that I initiated. And then I was always out there, like planning, like like we have what day do you call in school? I forgot where it's this day. Like I think it's Hari Sukan or something like
The
that.
sports day, yes.
Yeah, sports day or something. And then like we will do. It's not just sports, but there are extra activities that come along. Just for fundraising. So like I would always throw myself into things like this. When it's Teachers Day, we'll do something extra. Something like very extra. It's always at that community of like, and little did I know that actually all this sort of falls under the mass comm scope. Like mass comm, there's quite a wide range. There's
Yeah.
advertising. Yeah, there is. I think advertising, that is probably where magazines and stuff all fall under. So that's advertising, and also then I was doing a lot of PR stuff, but there was no name to it, and I was doing a lot of event planning stuff in school
Oh
that I
wow.
name to it. So little did I know that like everything falls under mass comm. And I was in science stream. I was a science stream student that time. Yeah, so like I was like I love science stream, but yet I find better joy in doing all this extra stuff. So I was very active as a student in school, doing all this extra stuff. But yeah, then one day my teacher told me like, "Hey Daniel, I know you're in science stream, but have you ever thought of mass comm?" And I was like, "Oh, what is mass comm?" Then he was like, "Oh, mass comm is basically," and that was my prefect teacher. I was a prefect in school. Then he said like, "Oh, mass comm is something this and this and this, and I think whatever that you've been doing, it feels like you might fit that role, you might fit that course." I was like, "Oh, okay." Then I started, looking up to it, blah blah blah. And then time passed after I graduated. Then I was like, okay, I kept thinking about mass comm. But I did not pursue that yet at that moment because I went to Form 6. So I went to Form 6 first. I think by the time my year, it was already by semester. Like previously, it used to be like, 2 years. But they changed it to like, Sem 1, Sem 2, Sem 3 over the course of 2 years. So it was
Wow.
only semester 1 for Form 6. And there was this competition. It was Anchor Idol, Newscaster Quest Contest Anchor Idol by Han Jiang. So that's a college lah. It was then college, but now university. So my teacher signed me up, and then I start. Then she signed me up for the PM category for some reason. So what you have to do is like just be an anchor on that show or something. But it's like a contest, so you win prizes, scholarships, and stuff. So I just did lah. I just do it. My PM was terrible, but I just did it anyway. And I think with hard work and stuff, I guess I was lucky. And then I got first runner up, so which means second placing. Then I got my scholarship and stuff. Then I dropped out of Form 6, and then I took a scholarship. I went to Hanjiang University. Then was college, but now university, Hanjiang University. Then that's where everything sort of pathed its ways lah. But back then in high school, I was always the MC boy. Like my teachers were like, okay, then
Right.
for Teachers Day, you're the MC. For this, you're the MC. So I guess I had my training grounds. I had my training grounds. I had the platforms that I was put into, but never planned for. And I think everything just works its course.
Hmm.
And next thing you know, I was in a communication college, and yeah, it's all it's well.
That is phenomenal. So, from what I understand, this is just something that really aligns with your character,
Yeah,
and
I think something really aligns with my character. Like, and without me realizing, these are the stuff that I like doing. Like, I
mm,
didn't know this was called media. I didn't know like there's such thing as hosting. Like, I know I watch TVs, but I was never like, oh, I want to be a host one day on TV. I was never that person. I guess I just embrace. I guess one true value that I really learned is to really embrace yourself. Like, find things that you're passionate about and really chase for it, because that's what I did. I just leverage on things that I'm passionate about and I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing it so much that like money wasn't a factor. Everything wasn't a factor, because I hosted for a street festival in Penang, weekly for it's about like I think like 6 hours long. So I did
wow,
it for only 100 ringgit. So, but then again, money was an issue. I was just filled with that energy, and I just want to go to the streets and like, okay, let's just talk to people, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I remember. Am I oversharing? Like, okay, maybe you should go
no,
on.
no, no, no. You share as much as you're comfortable, and I really appreciate you sharing your time with us. So not at all. At no point are you oversharing.
Okay, like I think it's really just a character. Like, before I got to uni, I guess I no, I think before I got to Form 6 or something, I don't quite remember the timeline. So basically, it was a period where I was waiting for results or something. I think it was before uni, because like their intake was somewhat mid of the year.
Mm,
So took up the scholarship. Like, I finished the competition in January, so it's like that kind of timeline. Finished in January, gotta wait till July to go in. So I dropped out, and then I was waiting. So I was doing like part time that time. I was part timing at this cafe, at this very hip cafe. It's called Picnic Cafe. That's where people like Ernest Zekervik. He's the mural artist that painted all these murals in Penang, the famous ones.
oh
So these are
right.
go there and hang out, because the owner of the cafe is a really hipster guy, artsy guy. So these are all his friends. So I remember I applied for the role of being a waiter because I really wanted to be a waiter for some reason. I really enjoyed the passion of serving people, like being able to introduce what's good, what's my favorite. I think you should try this, and then for an extra tip, you take this sauce, mix it with this sauce. I was sharing, like when I was a floor, like being a waiter, I was really like I would be like their friend. I'll sit down with them. Okay, like this is what you should order. I think this is really good. Like this is your first.
Mm.
Let me tell you what you should eat. This is my personal favorite. So I would go to that extent and share to people and like really like I don't know if you call that serve, but it's more of like I just find that joy a lot. So I feel it's really my character. That's why maybe somehow it's like okay, maybe this is what the media and you need to be a people person. So it all
Yeah,
falls. Yeah.
because I mean, a big part of it is connecting with people, right? Whether you're just interviewing a Hollywood superstar or you are hosting, a show or you are emceeing an event. It's always fundamentally it's about connecting with people.
Yeah, that's right. It's always about connecting to people, making them feel comfortable. Like what we are doing here right now. I know it's all podcast, but it is still a conversation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like your side, my side. It is really just a conversation that we're having. So yeah, yeah.
Well, if anything, it's just a conversation that is being recorded.
Oh yeah, correct. It's just a
You know.
conversation we recorded. So
Yeah.
it is. It is.
That's amazing. So it really aligns with your character, which is, and I think one trait that I can tell is very distinct is how proactive you are as well, because like you said back in high school, when there was Teachers Day or when there is the Harisukan or Sports Day, you would always take action and be the one to like, hey, why don't we try this? Why don't we integrate this? Check this out, and you're the one emceeing. So I think because I do music and I make my own content as well, and I interview people in public as well, and I find that proactivity is the one thing that is vital to this career, to this industry.
It is. It is. It is very much because like proactiveness equals to hungriness, if I could say that. So like if you're hungry for a certain thing, you gotta when you're hungry, I guess your mind, your body work towards it.
Yes.
So like, yeah, it's like working towards your goal. So like if you want something, I guess you gotta be really, really hungry for it. Not just hungry, but passionate. You're excited for it. So like along the journey, you're enjoying whatever that you're about to come by. So yeah, I think it's really being hungry. Like a lot of people that I would actually tell also, like don't wait till your internship starts, then
Mm.
you take up like don't wait till your internship starts to do your internship. I think internship is something that we should embody in ourselves. Like internship is just a label. Like when you're out in the industry, then like okay, then you're doing something. But I feel like we should start way back. Like while you're learning, because I was always that guy like back in uni when I was when I was in Hanjiang, when I was having my semesters and stuff, I was already emceeing for stuff outside. I was already doing
Right.
things, really like doing all the extra stuff to sort of equip myself so that when I start my internship, I'm not like okay, this A's I have or like B's or whatever. This is my result. This is all I have. Like I want to be able to share and shout that like, oh, I've done this, and this. So like, if you were to take me in, it's not just an internship, but I have something, a little bit that I could offer on the table, so that at least when you're starting, you're not starting on ground zero. You're starting on like maybe 50%. It gives you a head start ahead of.
Mm.
So I feel being hungry, proactive, like internship starts way before internship actually really starts is very important for everybody. Like I believe yourself, maybe you're still studying, I assume.
Yes. And this is
Yeah,
a
but
wake
you're
up
already
call.
doing music. Yeah, but you're already doing music. Like, wait, where are you studying?
I'm in Monash University right now. I got after my semester, I have one more year left.
I see. What course are you doing?
It's a double degree, so business and well, digital media.
Oh, come on, see. So you're doing social media, and yet you're producing music on the side. And here we're having a Pineapple Party podcast.
Yes,
So
sir.
what I mean, like, people should be starting things way ahead before their school years end.
Mm.
So like, so like when by the time you end, there's something going on for you already. So yeah, I guess you're on the right track, Jensen.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It is a wake up call though, because I've been told, and I've thought about like applying for internships earlier on, but when you get into the middle of the semester and like you have assignments pounding down on you, and you know the weight is so heavy on your shoulders, like it becomes just a fleeting thought. So I really need to get to it, and I'm thinking of actually maybe hopefully looking for a company that is willing to give me a very flexible schedule, so I can do an internship as I'm doing my semester in university as well. But thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Well, at least you're doing something. I mean, like, well, of course you're gonna weigh lah. Like, don't carry too much until you cannot manage with what's on your plate.
Yeah.
So you right balance on it lah. But yeah, I think you're doing great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I guess it's part of the journey, right? Like finding that balance, struggling, succeeding, failing again, picking yourself up. Um,
Saying that girls do it for the plot. I think that's what the millennials are saying.
really?
These are saying. Do
Okay.
it for the plot. Yeah, like like all the struggles. It's up to the story.
I could get behind that. Yeah, I could get behind that. That's amazing. Well, we kind of touched on this, but talk to us about your journey into hosting. I know you told us how in school you were the prefect. You were always proactive. You're always planning events, and when there are events, you're usually the one emceeing and hosting it. But how did you specifically get into hosting professionally?
I Okay, so we've covered the fact that I've had my training grounds in high school days, where I guess that's where a platform nobody judge you. Even if people judge you, it's okay. It's okay to fail then. So professionally, you said I would always and forever be thankful. I feel like I'm surrounded by really nice people throughout my living years. When I grew up, like that's just I'm pretty blessed to have people to be helping me, like what I'm trying to say, throughout my journey. So this is one of the very few many that have opened up bigger doors, I would say. So when I was in college years, when I was doing my diploma, I guess my first professional MC gig is when one of my senior got to know of this somebody whom is an event planner that works for the government. So they have this like beach street where they close the entire beach street in Penang, and then just like no car day kind of thing. So they have like a weekly weekend flea market. So they the entire street. So they were looking for a host, for an MC or an announcer, whatever you call it. So this senior sort of like asked me like, "Hey, do you want to give it a shot? Just give it a try lah." So that was my first paying gig. That was the 100 ringgit I was talking about.
Yes.
But we started with 80 ringgit, and then like gradually over years, because I was doing it for years, like probably about 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think about 3 years while I was there, because I was doing that while I was studying. So it's like weekends for that, just for that couple of hours, and then weekdays is my uni days, law, job, everything. So that was my first paying gig. My senior gave my name to this event organizer. So they gave me a run, and I was like, oh, they liked it. I was like, okay. Then ever since then, more came in. So it started off with the No Car Day Beach Street every Sunday, couple of hours there, really early in the morning until 12-ish, I think. And then subsequently, month to month, they have different events. So there was like a Penang Food International Festival, and then many other events grew. So like, and it was sometimes by the same organizer. So that's where they're like, "Hey, Daniel, do you want to do this?" I was like, "Okay." So that's how I grew. So like, I got through the first step when my senior recommended, and then like I think my name, but the words of mouth got around. So then I got different. I got more jobs lah over the years, over my school studying years, and then yeah, then I started doing corporates and stuff.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy how everything just like path this way when you
Yeah.
did that.
Well, you receive the energy you give out, right?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, you pointed that out. I think it's very important to give out that energy that you want to be receiving. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
So it's very much well deserved, and you deserve every good thing your way, you know?
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm not gonna say it's an easy one, but like being in this industry, but I think every industry is pretty much similar.
Mm,
But one I feel for me especially is really hard luck because it's very competitive as
I
well.
understand.
So yeah, you definitely need a huge bucket of luck.
Yeah, that's amazing. And would you say that how you got more jobs and more MC gigs is primarily through word of mouth?
That's very true. It was primarily through word of mouth. It was a little bit on social media at that time, but then again, because I was doing locally a local scene just in Penang,
Mm,
so it was really, really just words of mouth, and one grew to the other, and that's how it actually went about. But I wasn't in the KL market or anything. It was just purely in Penang, so I was just doing that. So even when I remember when I was doing my internship in KL, I would actually take the bus back, so I would take the bus back. I would try juggle my working schedules, my
wow.
intern working schedules, and my MC gigs. So like weekends, I'll come back and then I'll take the. So once I'm done, I'll take the bus back. So like it's like walking just next door kind of thing. So yeah, I did that really, really, really often. But yeah, it was purely from words of mouth.
I really respect that because I've been in that bus, and sometimes they say it's 4 or 5 hours, but sometimes it feels like an eternity.
I know, right? It feels like forever sometimes.
Yeah.
On good traffic days, I think it's five lah. With airline, it's started at five, so it's good.
Yeah, airline is good.
Yeah, airline's good. Airline is super good.
But there was one time, like, I took one of the cheaper ones, and it started raining heavily. And then
Yeah, that,
halfway, we got to Ipoh or something, and the bus driver just says, "All right, everybody out." We're like, "Huh?" "Yep, everybody out. We're not gonna get to Penang in time, so we're gonna put you on another bus." And then I've not had this experience ever, so I panicked. Sorry. Yeah, see, that's how I panicked. But I panicked, and then I called my friend, and he's like, "Well, yeah, this happens all the time. Just go get onto the new bus." I'm like, "Are you sure?" And then this new bus driver came. I asked him multiple times, are you going to Penang?" He's like, "Yes, yes, yes. Night, night, night." So okay. All right, so we just got on, and somehow I ended up in back home in Penang, and I'm still here today. You know.
oh my god, that's crazy. I've yet to experience that, but oh, that's crazy lah. I mean, I remember I had to take buses that weren't airline
Hmm.
because airline had very strict timing. It's either in the morning or it's in the afternoon. That's it. But yeah, but only buses that weren't airline had different schedules, and it was
Yeah.
more. They had like even midnight buses.
Yeah.
So it's like when you had to travel at odd hours. Yeah, I totally get that. But that's crazy that I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
But
It was raining heavily, and then the bus
oh,
was leaking. The rainwater was getting in, so I had to change seats because I happened to be so lucky that the water was coming right above me.
oh no.
And then like halfway we got to Ipoh. They're like, "All right, get down, get off." I'm like, "This don't look like Penang." So no, we're not gonna make it back in time. You're gonna get onto another bus, and this random bus just appears out of nowhere, and then the guy is like, "Get on." I had my reservations. I was quite worried at the time, but yeah. And then we got home, and we're all good.
Oh, thank God, thank God. Well, do it for the plot. It's an experience.
Yeah, there
That's
you
all
go. There you go. If that didn't happen, we wouldn't be here talking about it, right?
true. That's true.
Exactly. That's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
so I so how we met is I met you at the
TikTok,
2022. Yeah, the
TikTok, and yeah.
yes, and I spoke to you and Seti, and you guys were so accommodating and so friendly, and I had a very an amazing conversation with you guys. But I remember, you were hosting and moderating the content creator workshop by TikTok. This was back in 2022, and I really loved how well you engaged and interacted with the content creators themselves. And what stood out to me is that the different content creators had varying personalities. I remember, some of them were more extroverted. Like Seti is very friendly, very outgoing, but some of them might be more shy and introverted. how do you, what would you say is the key to engaging with different people, especially people of varying personalities and characters?
Damn, that is pretty tricky because like I think that is always a trial and error.
Mm.
Like I don't have a specific recipe and how to deal with this specific type of character and like but I think it just pretty much just follow my gut sometimes. Like you being yourself. Well, I guess being extrovert helps when it comes to that kind of thing. So it's just the extroverted side of you brings out of them. Like, okay, when a person is an extrovert, I would see them as an extrovert and an introvert. That's pretty much it. So like
Mm.
in detail, I wouldn't see like, okay, this is probably much more like a friendly person. This is more angrier person. I won't label them that way. I think it's just pretty much on the surface, like extrovert and introvert. So who can say more and who can't say more. So leverage a little bit more on those that can speak more and give more because they will lighten things up. So being the extroverted you, I guess, really helps. Just be all fun, funny. You gotta be crazy yourself, and like or excited yourself in order to bring that excitement out of somebody else. So that's why you gotta like when you're the host of a certain thing, you gotta like normalize being crazy, normalize
Mm.
funny, normalize being stupid. Then they'll be like, okay, nobody's judging me here because the host himself is really stupid. Like
Right, right.
it's fine for me to be myself. So I guess that really helps. So when you are extra yourself, when you're crazy yourself, when you're fun yourself, naturally that would bring that out of other people as well from the extroverted groups. And the introverts, I guess that push them one level up a little bit. They'll be more like, okay, I guess I could speak
They can
because
relax.
they can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is as much as you will get from them.
Mm.
Yeah, unless something really happens, then like maybe they'll burst out in the laughter and stuff. But yeah, so leverage on the extroverts one, and then I guess the pretty much goal is just to make that introverts relax because like I know how it can get really tense for them. So that's I don't think so you can push them too much in just that first few hours of meeting them because
Yeah.
it take a couple of days or maybe weeks to bring them out of the shell. So the most you could do is make them relax
Mm.
and then try to push all these extroverts in the room to have fun. And yeah, so then naturally, I guess everyone will just have a good time.
Just kind of like lighten up, but also energize the atmosphere, right? Like, oh, you're talking, I'm talking, we're joking, like that kind of
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and forth, right?
right. So that's how I guess it works.
Yeah.
But speaking of that TikTok content creator event, I don't have the vast memory of it. Like I remember that event happening, but I also remember it wasn't my best performance, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, like I think it wasn't the best
Okay,
from my.
then I'll be even more mind blown when I see your best.
Oh, we're our own hardest critics,
Critic,
right?
yes, harshest critic, 100%.
Right.
But I mean, this relates again to what we were talking about we receive the energy we give, right? So if you want to lighten the mood, brighten up the atmosphere, energize the situation, then we have to first take that first step, be proactive.
That's true. We're gonna be proactive. We're gonna take that first step so that everyone else will follow. Then, because they said the good energies are very contagious, right? So
Yes,
if you're happy yourself, I guess everyone else would feel the same thing. So it's just gonna make sure they're gonna keep that consistency, that energy throughout lah. Then everyone would feel the same way from the start and all the way to the end.
that's amazing. That's something I'm trying to work on as well because I think I think with the podcast being online on Zoom, it's there are more barriers to engaging with the guest or the guest to the host, because if we are like to sit in a room in a studio and I can see you face to face and we're we got the mic set up, we have a table, we can sit down together and chat. It's very much more conversational, whereas I think Zoom, we always associate meetings with Zoom. So yeah, that's a very interesting thing. Maybe
Yeah,
one day I'll take it on the road and we'll set a studio up and everything.
true, true. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, like it's a stepping stone. At least you're doing something, right?
Yes.
And like there's always this saying, like you like perfectionists. They always want things to be like like for a perfectionist, maybe this would be less of like like a hard set. It's not as perfect as having a real set. But this is good enough because a good conversation can happen no matter where it is. It's just
Yeah.
I know association of like Zoom meetings, but it's just in our head sometimes. Like good conversations can still happen. Even if it's a formal one, good conversations can happen anywhere and everywhere, be it in the car, outside in the park. And sometimes it happens best when we don't really set it up. Sometimes like you don't get best conversations in a proper setup studio sometimes as well.
Mm.
Get like while you're doing a park or something, just random conversations over the phone call. That should be recorded actually most of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, sad. But yeah, I mean, good conversations could happen anywhere.
100%. And I really really appreciate it. Um yeah, and I think this is a great conversation. I love talking to you. I love getting your insight on things, and we're learning a lot. So this is amazing.
Likewise, as I'm talking to you, I'm also learning a lot from you. So good job on doing this pineapple party. Like despite I know you started this with your friends, and then they must be really busy and stuff, but like at least you took the action to continue it. At least do something,
Yes,
and
sir.
every small effort counts.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Welcome.
Thank you. Um, yeah, cause, well, life is lifing, as they say, and I'm going through a little bit of a tough period, but that means a lot. I really appreciate that.
Oh,
Um,
like I don't know what you're going through, but hey, like tough time will pass. Like
yeah,
give yourself a break when you're having a bad time, and then but yeah, do something that like I find one way. I mean, as happy as I am, I mean we all do have our bad days, our bad periods,
yes,
all
sir.
those days like black hole just spiraling down. So like what I feel is like just let yourself feel whatever you need to feel. And that's one way. And another alternative, if you want to kick yourself back into like the ongoing mode, is to do something that makes you feel accomplished. So that,
Mm.
okay, I feel like I've accomplished this. This gives me a good adrenaline rush. Then I think your body and your mind would naturally make you do it continuously. So like that would kick you back into the mood. Yeah, do something. Be it, even if it's an easy one, yeah, like a stupid content on social media, let's say if it makes you happy and suddenly that thing flies, and you're like, oh, okay, good. So that gives you back that good adrenaline rush. So you feel good about yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. And well, this is not a question that I originally had, but now that we're on the topic, how do you personally deal with setbacks?
Oh, damn. Like,
And this
I'm
could be career wise, this could be something in your personal life, this could be with your goals, with travels, with whatever it is.
I've always believed in the power of Mother Nature. I mean, like, and God in another context. Like, but in a general context, I feel like uh, I feel that the universe has its own ways to sometimes like I feel sometimes when you feel something bad, it's because maybe okay, let me think how should I structure this
Mm.
sentence. Okay, wait, how do I deal with setbacks first? I'm a very expressive person, so I will let myself to feel whatever I need to feel. So that's me, and I can't help it. I can't help by pushing it down. So that I don't think so that works for me. Like you're pushing it down and then like just go on my day and I'm saying that I'm super happy. Like I can't do that. So I'm the kind of person that would like I would feel whatever I need to feel. I would just digest it. Just like if I want to feel sad, just let it be sad. But of course, always set a deadline. So make sure that you fulfill that emotional part that you need that needs to be fulfilled. If you're sad, you're happy, let it be. Feel it to the max. And once you're done feeling it, then you get back up. So that's how I feel. Like, I know how some people say like, hey, don't cry, don't cry, like, it'll be fine. But in fact, I would say, just cry till like cry till late power, and like then after that then you sit down and you start thinking what's the next plan. So it's always to embrace, to digest, to just swallow it and just feel whatever you need to feel. Then I feel that would help you to like come back stronger. That's how one way I deal with my setbacks and talk to people, talk to friends, talk to people that actually matter to you. And then possibly, even if they can't give you anything good, well, it's okay. At least the pouring works. because too much of bottling it up is not too good. One way that I do is also I write things down, so that one helps a lot for me. But what I would advise for people is just talk to other people, and then feel what you need to feel, and yeah, and certain things I also feel like when it doesn't work your way, it's because that's the universe trying to tell you that maybe this is really not yours. Like I know, like for example, like I really wanted to be a pilot then. Like I was studying physics. I was really doing it. I was really doing it. I felt like I was acing it at one point. But at the same time, I feel like I'm built for something else. So I'm built for the media,
Mm.
like enjoy whatever I'm doing. But that was just out of passion. But I want to be a pilot. So the universe would have its ways to push you out of it, even if it's the meanest way. Like, maybe you study so much but you still can't get it. That kind of thing that I'm saying. So the universe has its way to push you back to the route that you're meant for. So I feel we all have a purpose in our life. If sometimes this is not meant for you, I know it's possible to fight if you're really determined. Like some people had it easier. Like for example, you want to be an actor. Some people had to work 100 times harder just to be an actor in front of screen, and yet that is as much as they get.
Right.
It could also be a lot more. So it's hard to say, but it's just that know your strength, lah. Know your strength, and then like things would really work out well for you. And when things are bad, just trust in the process, lah. I
Mm.
think things will be fine after that. Like there's always ups and downs, lah. Sometimes life is like a wheel. Sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up. So like I've had my down days. I have days where like, like I feel like dejected. I feel like I'm no longer in demand. Like for my services, like for be it for TV hosts and stuff. But trust in the process. While you're having those down days, do take the opportunity, do something that you actually really like, that actually gives a different kind of excitement and joy. Then
Right.
people see you're having fun, you're having joy. Then people will be like, oh, he's in a good positive state. I feel like humans are really selfish. They will come to you only when things are flowery and nice on your side. When
Yeah.
things are ugly, oh God, you best assured that nothing's coming to you. People will be like, oh no, I think he's in a bad state right now. Let's just not go to him lah. So yeah, good energy attract good stuff. So yeah,
I feel
I
like
guess
that's a recurring theme.
right.
Yeah, this is like the third, fourth time we talked about it. This is very interesting.
Yeah, the good energy thing. Yep.
It's very special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like your whole approach to that as well because for me I find it hard to bottle things up because I've tried and believe me it did not go well.
No, I shouldn't. It's
Yeah.
gonna cause stress.
Yeah, exactly. So like for me I need to express how I feel and I find that I need to like talk to people. And even if they don't have advice for me, I can kind of just if I talk out loud, I can figure things out. And even if it's with the help of a professional or friends or even just all by myself, like I need to kind of express it and talk it out and figure everything out for myself that way.
It's true. And I feel like another way to express it, I know as vain as it sounds, like you can put things on social media, like every bad times you have,
Mm.
you change it into something positive. Like when you're having something really down, and when you're really down, that's when you feel it to your gut. So whatever that you're gonna express, it's the most sincere.
Yeah.
Like let's say like you're having a really bad time in school, dealing with your course mates, they're just shit ass people, like they don't part. So like if that really affects you and really impacts you in the worst way possible, a very simple. I know I'm not just saying doing it for the gram. I'm just saying that like people can take this and turn it into something positive. Like like maybe you're crying, like I know as vain as it sounds, put on the camera, it's very
Yeah,
funny.
guys.
And then
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, yeah. There's two ways to see it. It's very vain. It's like, oh, do it for the gram, do it for social media. But second thing is like, I also start to realize that is the mindset that we have in the past. It's a very boomer thing sometimes I feel. And I get cringe doing that sometimes also. But we need to like when you don't have the best memory, you tend to forget these things. Like your darkest days are supposed to teach you something. It's always a lesson. So like if you don't remember that happened, and to remember that is by having it recorded. If you don't have anything, then you will not remember that, oh, this happened to me. So should I be doing this again? So it's like, you can look back like, oh shit, I've done this before, and this is how it has made me feel, and this is how I will be. I'm like, shit, okay, I think I'm learning something here. Let's not go back that route. For example, as an example. So as cringy as it sounds, recording it, I think that could be, it serves like a photograph lah, for you to look back. Oh, so I've done this before. So this is what it has made me. And then like if you want to put it on social media, which is another step higher, and you put it on social media, but you put like what are you learning from it? Like put your quotes, put your what is your feelings telling you? Just pour it down and like do a voiceover on top of it and park it on your social media. Look at your social media like an album, so that like when years to come you can look by. So you've had your darkest days, you've had your happiest days. Nobody wants to see just happy stuff lah. Okay, just share some bad stuff also. That it makes us feel more like human. Everyone feels more humane that way.
Yeah.
So even you crying when you put it up, just say like, okay, what can you learn from it? What's your takeaway? People will be like super inspired by that. Yeah, yeah.
Just like
people will be super inspired by that. I feel, which I haven't myself lah, but that's how I see other people lah.
No,
so
I see the point though, because it's like we're humanizing ourselves, like, oh my god, like, oh, I'm crying, or oh, I'm like happy, excited, I'm on top of the world, and then the next day I'm struggling and I'm just going through the like going through the mud or whatever it is. It humanizes us, and it shows that, hey, we're vulnerable too.
True, correct. I mean, you don't have to post it on social media lah, but you can always just keep it for yourself lah.
Yeah.
It's just like a photo, like a photo for you to just look back at.
To document it, yeah. It's like a documentation.
Documenting it, that's right.
Yeah. Right. That's amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And now, like, for us to move back into hosting and emceeing, what would you, for aspiring hosts and MCs, how can they start?
Things are changing. I mean, things have changed. Times are different right now. Like last time, maybe my recipe would work lah. Like, but I feel like by doing more in terms of like taking up opportunities that is available, like school hostings and stuff. So that helped me. So that was my accidental recipe that like I was put into the situation of was doing it, and then like the next thing you know, people have been seeing, hey, Daniel has been posting lah, not bad. Okay, there's a paid gig. It's not much, 100 ringgit. Let's just give him a shot. So that happens. So people see that you've been doing that. So that's how they're like, okay, he's been doing that, so let's just get him for the job. Like for example, you've been doing podcasts. You're just putting it out there because you enjoy it. Whether the views is good or not, it doesn't matter. But one day when someone is like, okay, I'm looking for a new host for a podcast, then they start finding, then they came across yours, or like someone like, hey, I know this person's doing it. Oh, you want to give him a shot? Like, okay, let's just give him a shot. 5 episodes. Let's see if he can carry this or not.
Right.
So this is your training. What we're doing right now, this
exactly.
is your. So one day, boom, when the opportunity rises, this is my portfolio. I've done this. These are my links. It's not great, but I'm open to possibilities to grow. So I've done this, and I can be sharpened further. So that's what I'm trying to say. Your internship starts way before. So what was the question again? Shit, I think I spoke too far.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, it was just, how can aspiring hosts and MCs get started?
Yeah, so like then it was this recipe. I also realized now it's a social media game. So by doing this, when you post it up, when you target social media, especially TikTok, and then when it flies, then everything will come in its way. Because what I noticed is like a lot of people today, like to be in the media industry, this is very specific to the media industry. Our path is not like be an engineer, be a doctor. You do this is your next step. So when you're done, that's it. Apply. Okay, that's your only route. It's very straightforward. But for artists, for musicians, for hosts, for actors, actresses, it's very different. You could be like a psychologist today, and then the next day suddenly like someone just wants to find someone who can act, and you have that character that they're finding for. Boom! Next thing you know, you're an actor.
Yep.
So it's a very different route. So there's no one fixed recipe, but I think putting yourself out there, getting yourself out there, proactively sharing, hi, this is me, this is Jensen here, you know, that would help you getting noticed. And that could be the route to be a host.
Mm.
Very different. It's not like I'm gonna study mass comm so that I can be a host. No, you don't learn this in mass comm also. You go to mass comm just to, I'm not gonna say get a degree, but I mean there are things that you learn in it lah. So there are stuff that you're learning which is very essential. That's why mass comm is not like a I don't know what to do. Okay, let's just take mass comm. It shouldn't be that way. It should be like I'm passionate about this thing and I think I know this is the only thing that I want to do. Then you take that course. So some people continued that even after graduation, but some just like okay go back to being a property agent and stuff. So like
Yeah.
there's no direct route for it, but you just got to be very passionate about it. Like once you're passionate about it, your route will path its way.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mm.
And would you say this is the same? Would you say it's the same situation when approaching employers for hosts?
For hosts, hmm, I can. How do I? I think it's possible.
Mm.
It's definitely possible. Like you need to start somewhere by doing something first. Like for someone to take you as a host, we're talking about like outdoor festival host, or you're talking about TV.
Let's start with outdoor, and then we can dive into TV hosting as well.
So like for out because it's two very different things. Like for
Yes.
TV, talking to camera. So like even when you're talking to camera, when you send that link to an event organizer who's looking for a host, they may not necessarily take you because they're saying that you're not engaging with crowds, you're engaging with a camera. So it's a very different thing. So engaging with crowd is a whole different thing. So I feel for a crowd situation, kind of hosting, you need to host first. But I know opportunity don't come often lah. So you gotta like find a reason for an event to do it. Yeah, then people will give you the opportunity lah.
Right. So then basically gain experience first in a way, and
Yeah,
then we can pitch ourselves to people who are looking.
right. And gaining the experience could be like someone's wedding or
Mm.
someone's birthday party, or like it could be as simple as like you're having a gathering and then you just started being like you don't need a mic to be host. You just show your character through that video, and like maybe get a friend to like you're doing something silly, you're just entertaining a whole crowd. All right, thanks everybody for coming. Like pretend like you're the host, like host in the context of like you're doing a housewarming party. There's a huge crowd there, so you're doing something. You're just welcoming people. So that itself could be something. Yeah, but of course with that video it can only get you smaller scale events.
Yes,
But
and then we build.
yeah. But you progress up,
Yes.
progress you climb up further. I'm just saying that you need that one small little ticket to open up that first door. And to open up this first door is to find that right key. And where to find that key is you have to create this key for yourself. So be it whatever it is, you just gotta find the situation to shine, lah, then get that documented and then use
Mm.
that's for an outdoor kind of thing.
So to
Mm.
demonstrate your personality and your character,
Yeah.
and to show it, to broadcast it.
Right. And hosting is not just hosting per se. It's not just talking, not just introducing, but it's a whole amalgamation of your character in it. So what they want to see is, I think, your character, and with your character, how well can you carry the agenda, the itinerary? How do you infuse everything together? So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that is amazing. And
Mm.
how much do you think this applies to TV hosting? Because
Uh,
you're now talking to a camera, right? Like you said.
when you okay, this is reverse.
Mm.
Talking to camera, it may work. I mean, like when your name is like super, okay, let's say you start with just TV, right? That can use as a portfolio for your hosting. But when it's really really big lah, right? But it may not work all the time because they would still want to see how you engage with the crowd, unless you're talking to a crowd, but it's for TV. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Like Ryan Seacrest for American Idol, there's a huge crowd there. So that fine, you can use that and then use it. But I feel emceeing, it's a different thing. So everyone before they go into TV, unless you're super lucky, they emceeing would be their first ground. That's your training. So when you could handle a huge crowd, then relatively with camera, it's much easier. That's what they say.
Mm.
But it's a different ball game, to be honest. But still, if you can handle a huge crowd, you can handle one camera. You will translate that same energy, that same passion into a TV. So if you start as an emceeing, then that can be used as a portfolio because you know how to carry because they can see your character and how you engage with people. So they just want you to do that with the camera. That's it. So I think that
Right.
one. And another recipe for hosting for TV hostings and stuff is when whatever we're doing right now, we're looking into a camera also. It's the same thing. Like we're just engaging virtually. So the
Yes.
same concept. So whatever you're doing, this is the same recipe for TV as well.
Right. Okay. Because it's basically it's essentially the same core essence, right? It's just instead of addressing a big crowd, you're addressing a camera, which
Correct.
then sends signals and produces moving images to another crowd.
Correct, that's right. So
Yeah.
I would say emceeing is harder, but once you manage that, I think TV should be possible. So this is transferable, but from TV to ground hosting, it's different.
Mm.
These are more rigid. It's more planned. You only have 1 minute, and 1 minute is all you have. Sometimes you have a script, nothing more, nothing less. Precise, perfect, clean, crisp. Like for hosting outdoor, like let's say if it's an outdoor festival or anything, you can afford to make mistake. And when you make mistake, you just joke on it. That's
Yeah.
it. Same thing, but nothing to repeat it on TV. On ground, you can repeat a few times. So that gives you a few times to think and everything. So that's why that whole crossing it's very yeah
Mm.
still very flexible. But yeah, from emceeing to TV host is easier. TV host to emceeing, not it's yes and no lah.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, we covered a lot actually. So we covered, how aspiring hosts, aspiring MCs, or anyone aspiring to get into media,
Yeah,
what they can do and stuff like that. And then we covered, the difference between TV hosting and outdoor hosting, or more so event hosting.
right.
Um, so I would like to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do something a little bit more exciting and talk about your job as a celebrity interviewer as well.
Okay. I that is also another thing that like when I first got into the Malay market, I was doing local scene, right?
Mm.
I've never thought that I'll be doing that as well. But I do know that like when I got into that line, like hosting for my own show would be something that I'm keen about. And I'm very blessed with the opportunity that like I get to do that on my first job. Like once I finished my training and everything, right? Once I finished uni and then I got through my training with Astro for 6 months. On the third month, they're looking for a new face, and then how that's how I got it. So my first job was straight hosting for my very own show for Astro Gampa on TV. So that's how it all kickstarted.
Wow.
Yeah. So, oh wait, hold up. I spoke too far and I ran. What was the question again?
No, I just said. Sorry, I'm having a terrible cough, but I'm just saying that we could switch it up a little bit and we can dive into your celebrity interviews and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
the celebrity interviewing. So that one, so that's how I started, and then the show was all about entertainment. So we were interviewing local celebs, and we're playing games with them. Introducing their new musics, the new movies and stuff. So that's how it all started, and then ongoing with that perks was there's this term called the junket. So for TV, movie distributors outside would like to work with TV, and
Mm.
that's how I land my first interview with what was it? I think my first interview was for The Conjuring, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Patrick Wilson and
Patrick
Vera
Wilson, yes.
Farmiga. What's her name again?
I
But yeah,
only know Patrick Wilson. I'm sorry.
Patrick Wilson and all right. So it was both of them. I think that was my first interview, if I'm not mistaken, and it was virtual. So that was the first opportunity. Then I was like, oh, so that's the Hollywood interviews that I can do. So it's not just local stuff. So I enjoyed doing all the local stuff, and then I got addicted to interviewing because I've always wanted the red carpet. That's
Mm.
red carpet, the Oscars, all those stuff. I feel like I've dreamed about the English market, but
Yes.
placed into the Malay market. That's what I said. The universe would work its ways.
Yes.
You may not get it now, but you get it later. So, and I feel essentially that is what I really much needed. If I were to start in the English market straight, I don't think so. I would have survived this far, or I
Hmm.
would have grown this far. So the universe pushed me. I mean, in other words, God pushed me to be in that situation where I picked up BM. I have to do it with all the local celebs that I really love. It makes me feel super grounded. It makes me feel like I'm at home. I get to learn from all these amazing people that I have, all these local artists. And then one day I'm given this opportunity. Okay, I think you're ready, but let's make you do virtual first. So
Yeah.
then I Patrick Wilson. Then I loved it, and then you only get 5 minutes, by the way, 5 minutes sharp, and they'll cut you.
Wow.
It's nothing more. Yeah, it's nothing more. Less, yes. 3 minutes, yes. Nothing more than that. So then it grew from there because I really liked it. And then Gempa is a very Malay thing, right? So this thing are very by the way for them. It's not a
Hmm.
must, but I made it like a must have for the platform.
Let's go.
Grooming this entire segment, I was like, okay, I think we got it. So I want more to like I took care of my reputations with all these key people within the industry, not because I'm seeing the benefit of it, but because being kind, being nice to people is also very important because someone that you're talking to today may not be in the industry, but 2 years down the road, who knows? They're suddenly the producer of something.
Yeah.
You're suddenly working with Netflix. So that's what I'm saying. Being kind with everybody around you, because you do not know when you might help them and they might help you.
Yes.
So I built that rapport, and over the years, I think I do have quite a nice rapport. But of course, it has to be compensated with your work, lah. Right? Everything has to be really top notch, also. So I gave 101% for every interviews that I do, and they kept coming back. So then that's how the segment grew for Gempa as well, and that's how I slowly paved my route for the Hollywood entrance,
Right. Okay.
local stuff. So that was what happened. I had the first one. My boss assigned me the first one. I liked it and I grew it. Make sure that it's a long standing thing. So then now we have a proper segment, which is recently just rebranded to Eat Movie and Repeat. There will be more of my interviews there. You can see it. Eat Movie Repeat. It was
Eat,
called
movie,
Joe.
repeat.
So now it's Eat Movie Repeat. And after 3 years plus of doing local celebs, finally in the fourth year, this is my fourth or fifth year, fourth, fifth year, I'm specializing in only Hollywood interviews, like all those international ones. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
That's amazing. And I've seen so many clips on your social media and everything, and every single one of them are they're so engaging, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air because I seen you were sharing dad jokes with some of the actors from Rebel Moon, I think.
Yep,
And
yep.
then you interviewed Paul Rudd, and like each and every single one of those interviews, it's such a breath of fresh air, and it's so engaging, and to see them like relax and oh, it's just dad jokes,
Oh,
and to see them have fun with you.
that's correct. Thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it because it's a hit and miss. How I came into the whole dad joke and stuff is also because I am catering to a crowd of mass Malay market. I need something that works for them. I can't go
Yes.
tell me about the budget. Tell me about the crowds don't want to hear that. Fortunate or unfortunately, so it might sound very stupid to certain people, like, what, Daniel, I sent you so far just for you to ask a dad joke, are you for real? But then again, I need to see what crowd am I serving. If I'm serving a crowd of like maybe white people, like white audience, then maybe there's something else that they're looking for. You
Mm.
know, that's why that in-depth interview, in-depth conversation works for that crowd. But mass Malay crowd, no, they're not into all this kind of stuff. They don't want to know too much technical stuff. Give me something fun. Give me something that I can laugh about.
Yeah.
Hence the birth of all puns of all. Yeah, I put a lot of effort into it, a lot of Googling, of course. So it's a hit and miss. It doesn't work every single time. So in order for it to work is I need cooperation from the Hollywood stars themselves. If they're giving me the energy that I'm giving them to be receiving back, then magic happens. But if they do not, it's a miss.
Yeah.
It's a hit and miss, but it's a hit and miss that's worth trying because you never know. Out of the many dad jokes that I do, out of the many puns that I do, one day maybe there will be that one video that I'm still hoping for, that I'm still praying for, that will fly.
Mm.
Some did flew, but it did not hit big. I need that one big hit. So that's what I'm
Yes.
like. Like you saw, as much as I'm sharing, I'm still on my journey of like finding what really works for me, and I know I'm still far away from like calling myself like I'm already there because I'm not there yet. But as we are having this conversation, you're on a journey, I am on a journey, we're still getting there. Maybe mine is just at point, like maybe a few steps ahead of you
Mm.
because earlier, possibly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on the same journey. I'm just saying that I haven't get that big hit yet, but who knows, one day lah, one of these videos would just fly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
before I ask you about what happens when the jokes miss, I think that even if we are to get there, it's still a journey, because
Sure.
we keep living, right? We just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Well,
That's right. That's very true. Just do it lah. Just do it lah. It's fine to be laughed at lah. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work lor. Then
yeah.
at least learning ground for yourself lah. Like okay, I shouldn't do it this way. I should do it another way.
Mm.
Structure like that. Then you'll learn.
100%. Well, can you give us an example of a time where either the conversation diverted or the mood of the conversation was off?
Oh God, I remember just one conversation I had with. That's the thing. I really like Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. So I had this virtual session with him. It did not go the way how I wanted it to be, but maybe because I understand cultural barriers, the way we perceive joke and the way they perceive is very different. Or maybe he was enjoying the joke, but British humor for some reason. I don't know lah. So that's obviously a barrier there. So that conversation did not go too well. It
Mm.
was quite off because like I was asking questions that I took from netizens lah, right? Like, so I would sometimes try to connect with my crowds and get them to ask the questions that I can ask on their behalf. So they're saying like, "Oh, will you?" Because Doctor Strange had this hair, but it's just a wig and off shooting. And then now there's this one question like, "Oh, have you ever thought of wearing that Doctor Strange hair? As in like originally your hair is like that, even off this thing, because like some people find it really cool." And he was just no. I was like, oh, okay. He was giving me lots of like very short answers.
Right.
I was like, so that was a bit off-putting lah. But nevertheless, I learned from it. So then again, I don't know if he was being sarcastic or like what, but it's just I did not feel that vibe lah. So
Mm.
that one really went like I was like stressing over there. But then again, everything could be a content. So structure it in a way that it is to your advantage as well. Like put a funny music after that, like, and then like it could look like, oh, he was joking, but just he looked very serious. It could be that. So
Mm.
yeah, anything could work.
Well, and
Anything post production.
yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go. Editing, right? The power of editing.
Yeah.
But when those things happen, when you're talking, when you're interviewing a celebrity and things don't go the way you plan it, whether the conversation is off or whether they don't seem happy or whether the jokes don't land, how do you navigate through those situations and bring the energy back up?
Damn, this is a really tricky one because it's like different conversations brings out different kind of outcomes. So how do I bring back up is like, but then again, all I have is always just if we're talking a specific two interviews that I've done, all I have is just that few seconds. So if I missed it, is I missed it and that's it. There's no more chance to bring it up. It's just like, okay, done. You missed it. Thanks, Daniel. Next person. So that's it. You missed it and you missed it. There's no. But what I did with Doctor Strange is I try to sense the energy in the room. I try to sense how far can they go. If they do not reciprocate well with whatever that I'm doing, then I try to tone myself down,
Mm.
not further agitate them. But maybe they could be starting their day wrongly, you know, like I mean, they're just not in the right space or right mood. So I try not to be too annoying. If they're okay, just test water first. Test water. The starting is okay, then okay. Then we can continue with that energy. But if cannot, then I have to tone down. Read the mood, read the energy in the room. So if they're not up for it, maybe okay, I'll just go back to a normal interview. Okay, we can still have a fun conversation, you know, just a normal conversation that is engaging, even if it's not as crazy as it is. But it is still a conversation. Yeah. So I guess just read the energy and then just go back to basic. Don't go to extra.
Right, right.
Go back to basic. Start extra.
Oh,
Yeah, you start.
start extra.
Yeah, start extra. Because I don't have much time. 5 minutes is all I have. If I
Yeah.
don't start extra, there's no more time already. So still go extra. Do something fun, something funny or whatever. So if they reciprocate well, then I know I can continue. Like the interview that I did for Argyle, it's with Henry Cavill, Bryce, and what's the other guy's name? I forgot. So there's the guy that was super crazy. I don't remember his name, but yeah. Anyway, I'll give you the name later. Just put his face. So he is super fun because he's the comedic guy.
Hmm.
So I could tell like he's fine with doing crazy stuff. Like I remember going into this was a physical interview. I went in and I just rolled on the floor, like because it's all about spies. So I wanted to be a spy, so I just rolled it, and then I'm trying to make an entrance, and then everything went wrong. Everything was like just haywire, and like I flipped my iPad, almost gonna Henry Cavill's face. I was like, then everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Oh
whoa.
my God.
At the mood, it was chaotic, it was fun, it was stupid, and then everyone's like, whoa, what's up? What's happening? Then I knew it. They are like, okay, okay, these people are cool, these people are chill. They're not the Daniel, please behave. They did not give me that energy. So that's how I know their energy is. Start crazy. Then if they reciprocate, I'm like, okay, I can be like I can relax myself. I can be crazy with you also. So like that.
Wow. That would have been a sight to see, man.
Yeah, it is in the video. It's in the full video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is the video. The whole
I gotta go back and check on that one.
Yeah, and in
That's
fact, the
amazing.
cast himself also rolled for me.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He did. I was playing one game with them, and then he was like, he don't know what to answer, and he just rolled on the floor. And I'm like,
Ah, that's amazing. Let's
oh,
go.
that one was good. I was like, oh, that was fun. So that
Yeah.
is energy that I want to have in every interview. Then it will be fun.
Hmm.
But then again, I mean, you can't expect everyone that you don't know personally to behave in that certain way.
Yeah.
So and you gotta be extra yourself first. And if they are that type that can just get along on the first meet, then it's good. But if they can't, then just gotta tone down lah. Just gotta
Yeah.
tone down. Just okay, normal basic
Back
conversations.
to basics. Back to the foundations.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, now before we close up, and again, if at any point you want to talk about anything, please feel free to go for it. But before we close up, let's like lighten up the mood. Can you share us your favorite? Um, can you share us your favorite memory of interviewing celebrities?
Um, I would say there are plenty, like, and everyone holds a very special place. But until today, of all the interviews I've done quite a number of big names, like like Keanu Reeves, like Dwayne Johnson, and all these people. Like they're all amazing, and I had so much fun with them because they're super giving. They're giving
Hmm.
me that I was sending out. But the one that really struck my head with so much of like until today, I just and there's nothing crazy about the interview, but there's just something that it left a memorable impact on me. It was with Aquafina. It was for Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi, I did Aquafina. It was a virtual one,
Yep.
but she's so down to earth for some reason. For some reason, she just left an imprint in my head, and I really like her, and I'm really glad she turned out the way that I see her to be on screen. So when I spoke to her and stuff, she was very nice. She was very down to earth. She was very, hi Daniel. Like, it makes you feel good when someone say like, oh, she knows my name. I'm acknowledged. Like, oh, that feels really good. So I feel it had to be Aquafina. That was what my one most favorite interview lah. like I had lots of fun interviews. Others were really good favorites as well. Like Dwayne Johnson, I get to play some Bahasa game with him. It was fun. With Chris Hemsworth, he spoke Bahasa to me because I know he's a meme lord when it comes to Bahasa. He can speak Bahasa Melayu. So like when I
Wow.
oh apa khabar, and he said khabar baik, like bagaimana cuaca hari ini, and he started counting satu dua tiga empat. So like like I like all of that, but somehow Aquafina still leaves an impact on me. It was a very normal conversation, just very simple one, but she's just nice.
Mm.
That's personality. So at the end of the day, sometimes I feel it's not what you really do. It's sometimes I know I say it's nice to go extra, but it's not always the extra stuff. It's the conversation, no matter where it is. It was virtual, but yet it had so much of impact for me. I don't know about others lah. I don't know others watching the interview, but I know for me as the person who interviews them, it was just nice. It was a good feeling. So yeah,
That was the one that
yeah,
left the lasting impression.
yeah. That one had a lasting impression. There was nothing crazy, fun about the interview. Also, it was a very easy. It was a very smooth chat. It was a
Mm.
It was so nice talking to her. She's humble, down to earth, nice, very giving. Yeah, I had fun with Aquafina. As awkward as she is, she's quite awkward. So, like so talking to her is very awkward, but it's fun.
Or maybe that's where the awk from Aquafina comes from, you know?
Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've spoken to so many celebrities over your time interviewing Hollywood stars or local celebrities, and you told us about how Aquafina was the one that.
Hold up, sorry, I got a call.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries.
Wait.
You can mute if you want.
Sorry, I had a parcel that's supposed to be delivered. So I think he's doing it right now. He might call back. I don't know, but yeah.
Oh, that's all good. We can have him on too.
If interrupted, I'm sorry because I might be expecting another call shortly.
No
But
worries.
otherwise, it should be okay lah.
No
Are we
worries.
continue first?
Sorry?
We good to just continue first?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We're 100%
One
on
more
track.
minute, okay? One more minute, ah.
Yes.
Okay, just a moment, real quick.
No worries.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Yes, sir.
Okay, recording audio on my side. All right, good.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, so you told me about how talking to Aquafina was let's set the scene, right? It's a very normal, basic kind of conversational interview. You just ask her questions and you guys converse, and it was virtual, so you're talking through a screen like we are right now, but it was her that left a profound impact on you because you mentioned how humble she is, how she conducts herself, and just how down to earth she is. So that's a very feel good story, and that is always something that I find that I am attracted to when people who are paraded by the media, when people who they have millions of followers, they are on top of the world, their faces on the billboard, and they can still stay so grounded, so human, and so down to earth. But what are some of the what are what are some of the celebrities that you've spoken to that you're like, oh, this one I really, really, really enjoyed?
Let me see. Like in terms of enjoy, what do you mean by that? Like having a conversation or?
Could be anything. Maybe you were rolling with them like you did with the, celebrities in Argyle. Maybe you were just sitting down for a conversation. Sorry?
With the extra stuff that I did, or
It could be anything. Like what are your highlights or favorite memories from interviewing celebrities?
ooh, okay. Let me see. I don't quite remember all of them, but I would definitely pin on the ones that I could be fun with, like in terms of content wise, that gives me that flexibility to do whatever I want. It had to be this three Korean celebrities. I think it was Jae-suk, Kwang-soo, and Kwon Yuri. That one's a Korean celebrities. They were pretty funny, and I think that video fly as well. And I really enjoyed Paul Rudd and Jonathan Majors. I think that one was a highlight for me as well because they allowed me to do the puns on red carpet, and that was fun for me. I think that had to be the highlight as well. So if I had to choose, it had to be the Sydney one of Sydney, which is Paul Rudd lah. Paul Rudd and
Mm.
Matt and Jonathan Majors. They were amazing. Yeah,
I'm guessing that was for Ant-Man,
that was for
the
Ant-Man.
third Ant-Man, right?
Yes, the third Ant-Man. That one on the red carpet. That one was fun for me. I enjoyed doing the easier contents, the funnier ones, the dad jokes, the puns.
The
So that was
light-hearted ones.
sorry,
The
the lighthearted.
light-hearted ones, yes.
I enjoy the lighthearted ones a lot because it's nice seeing them super relaxed.
Mm.
Like just another question, like oh god, about the movie. But I know the sole purpose we're going there is to promote the movie. I mean, there is time for that, which I've already done. That I've already checked that off. So like, it's just that it fulfills that like oh, it's nice to see them relaxed, have fun,
Yeah. Well, even though you've interviewed many celebrities, who is your number one that you have not got to speak to yet?
Oh god, number one. Who? Um,
Yeah, who is the number one celebrity you want to interview that you have not interviewed yet?
I want to say Chris Evans because I really like Chris Evans. Like I got so hooked on Marvel because of Captain America. But then again, if I were to look back again, I'm like, like I don't know. They all they all kind of look the same for me. Everyone is so big. I can't choose. Like I don't know. Like if I want to say like I've not done Keanu Reeves, then but I've done Dwayne Johnson, whom is equally amazing. So they're all so big, and I don't think so. I can ask for any more. But okay, wait, let's see. If I really have to pick a name, lah, could it be Oprah?
Sure. Any
Yeah,
dream celebrity. Any dream celebrity.
like yeah, Oprah seems like super like because I grew up watching her stuff, Oprah Winfrey, and and it was very inspiring and how she can connect to people. So she's good. I like her, but in the entertainment point of view, yeah, maybe I want to meet Jessie, Jessie, this Korean artist who grew up in Canada or something.
The
I
rapper,
forgot
right?
Yeah, the rapper Jessie. That's
Ah,
right.
yes. Oh, she would be fun. She's very energetic.
Yeah, she is the person that I want to be, that I want to see myself in.
Hmm.
Another call.
No, no worries.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
Okay.
So yeah, we have Daniel Cheang and Oprah Winfrey to look forward to, and Daniel Cheang and Jesse to look forward to.
Yeah, Jessie is someone that I want to be. I want to be her. I want to be the person that she is, that character. She's so fun. I think she's someone that we can learn from as well. Like her
Yes.
interviews. She's amazing. How super casual. She's just so fun. She break all boundaries. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just not another sit down interview. And I think if I have like a challenge that I want to hit is to possibly break Korean celebs from their shell.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Jessie does that, but I know it's not possible because Jessie, she's there, and everyone's her friend, so it's so easy. It's easy when the celebs are your friend. You can just say shit, you can just be crazy. So everyone's more relaxed. But when there's something about Korean celebs that like when we go and interview them, there's just 10,001 restrictions that I really, really, really hate. And it's very difficult. And all you get to do is just be like that and like, oh, so how's the movie? It's so boring. So I look forward to the one day that I can break that shell and hopefully make them feel more comfortable because that would be one of my goals to make them feel comfortable in that interview that they can be stupid, be
Mm.
themselves. Because I know they're wearing a lot of layers of mask, a lot of layers of mask. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And these are restrictions that their agents or like people who are so-called in charge
yeah,
impose on you, right?
right. But when I watch Jesse's interview, everyone's super chill. So I want to have that interview as how she had with them. So maybe one day lah, who knows lah when. But this comes with name lah. Like when your name is big, then I guess you can have that leeway. So maybe
Yes.
it's a journey for me to work towards that lah.
Yes.
Something for too.
Well, and I know you got this for sure. So
Yeah,
we'll see it happen.
yeah, yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she's someone who really like her presence fills the room, you know.
Yeah, she's funny, she's loud, she's just whatever, she's just herself.
Mm.
Yeah. And I guess that excites people. People being interviewed by Jessie, they would feel like, oh, what am I expecting? It's always the unexpected.
It's always fun.
It's always fun. It's always unexpected. So that's what, like, like it feels the interviewee with that kind of like energy, like, oh, what's gonna happen today with Jessie?
Yeah, it's always something different. And before we close off,
Hmm.
is there anything you'd like to add?
When is this podcast coming out?
It should be dropping the week after. So I reckon towards the end of May.
Towards the end of May. Okay. Well, I'm embarking on something new.
Okay?
It's not announced yet, but it'll be announced in June.
All
So
right.
June of 14, 15, that weekend. But I'm gonna start my training next week. So I am taking on an extra role. Not extra role per se. It's just like another added thing to my portfolio. I'll be starting with HITZ. Uh,
Wow.
as a new addition to the family. Radio.
Wow. Okay, so that is breaking
Actually,
news.
yeah, sorry.
Is that breaking news?
Yeah, it's breaking news for me because I've been wanting this since forever. Like I wanted radio before TV. Because like for me, TV is like the peak, and
Mm.
I see TV coming first. So like the fact that like, I've been waiting for radio for forever and now I'm only getting it. So I'm like, it makes me feel like, oh shit, I'm treasuring it even further. But then again, the universe has its ways. God has his ways to plan things around. So it all happens for a reason. So I don't know what's coming next, but I'll be starting in the weekend slot first. What time? Not sure. I've yet to sit down and get all of that sorted out yet. But yeah, I'm starting with HITZ.
That is
Start
amazing.
next week. On the 20th. Sorry, on the let me see. Wait, hold on. What's the calendar? Yeah, next week. Next week Monday, which is
Woo!
20th, starting 1 month, and then I'll debut my radio career.
Oh, your training starts on the 20th of this month.
Yeah, 20th of this month.
Wow.
1 month, and then June they'll announce the new lineup, and I'll be doing the weekend. So yeah, that'll be my first radio debut.
I think you got this.
Damn,
I
hope
really think you got this.
so.
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about, right? Like just engaging with people, You know,
Yeah.
like before on TV, people could see your face as well. But now it's still the same. It's just we're listening to you instead of listening and seeing you on the screen.
Yeah. I'll still be doing all those TV stuff
Yes.
now with now radio as well.
Let's go. Let's go.
And let's go. I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait to share and shout about it. So yeah. So
Um,
that'll be soon. That's the official.
well, are you okay with us sharing this in the podcast?
Yeah, can.
Okay.
Wait, but that's the thing. The radio part, maybe you can cut that, snip it out. I don't. That's why I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. This can come out just yet because my debut date should not be announced yet.
Right. Okay. Okay. In that case, we can just push the podcast back to the end of June instead.
And I mean, can up to you.
Yeah.
That's possible if
Yeah.
that's how you. Or if you want to release these earlier, because like I know you have your content deck, maybe push this out first. I guess you can cut the end snippet, like this radio portion,
Yeah.
towards
Be-
that date.
Because my approach with the podcast is it is as unedited and uncut as possible. So I really don't mind just shifting the release date back to after they announce your debut.
And
But
yeah.
we'll be in the car waiting for you to come on the radio, man.
let's all. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's amazing. In that case, do you mind just letting me know once the debut is done and everything, and
Sure.
then I will schedule for the podcast to be released.
Definitely. If
Perfect.
you want to see the part of the content, like maybe like the radio part towards nearer the date also can. If you need to release the front part first, it's also okay.
Yeah, sounds good. But
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah, it depends on how you want to arrange it.
you're comfortable with me dropping it as long as it's after the
Yeah.
announcement,
like,
right?
Radio part, whatever that I mentioned for that radio part, it has to be closer to the announcement date.
Does it have to be after, or is it okay if it's slightly before?
I think best after a lot.
Okay, that's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your time with us, and this is big news. I'm very happy to hear it, and yeah, this is amazing.
Thanks, man. It fills me with a lot of excitement as well.
Yeah.
Thanks. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on and sharing your stories and your expertise with us. It's greatly appreciated. And fun fact, I really want to go into radio too.
Oh,
If there's ever an opportunity.
it will come.
Yeah.
So like whatever you're doing right now, I feel like this could be an advantage in the future.
I'm still learning, I'm still taking my baby steps and seeing where I go from there.
There's always the right time and space for everything. So like time will come. Like just go with the flow.
Thank you, Daniel.
Welcome.
Well, before we close up, what is your vision for your career in 5 years' time?
Damn, 5 years time. Well, I know everything has an expiry date, and I can't seem to be doing this forever. So I know TV has an expiry date. So, like on the side, I'm already working towards like being an entrepreneur. Also, starting things that I'm passionate about, like how I'm already working. Me and my team, a few of us. Me and my not my team, sorry. Me and my partners. Yeah, there's three of us, including myself. We're working on this exciting stuff called like we're producing paper cups. I mean, of course, biodegradable, etc., and everything. But the motifs on the cup, because like I really appreciate things that are very cultural. So there's this really special cup that we produced, which I can share you the picture right after. I don't have it with me right now. So it's basically cultural motifs on that cup, and it's something that you would use in traditional Chinese household. They call it the mansao mo kyong cups. So it's the ones with red prints. And then
Okay.
there's ones the yellow ones. So we did that. We emulate the same thing on a paper cup. So we are looking at taking it really far. Hopefully working there, quite some plans working on it. But yeah, watch the space because like it's already rolled up for Raya first. So we're gonna drop like Merdeka and then like for Chinese New Year and stuff, and then for Christmas. So that is already in line. So that's just a few things lah. Like 5 years down the road, I really hope that I could start out start up something already on the side. Like there's like my family, my aunt, my family, the Cheang family, we actually sells our own curry meat in Penang. Yeah, and
Oh,
then we also make our own chili paste. So that chili paste is something that I'm also really working on it. It's on the labeling part of the whole production. So that is also another thing that I'm working towards it. And I hope by then the chili paste is already out and rolling. So those are just few stuff that I'm working on the side.
that's amazing. And I am so excited and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you and I.
And likewise for both of us.
Yeah. Well, Daniel, thank you so incredibly much. Thank you for sharing your expertise, your stories, your time with us. And for you guys that are tuning in, you guys know what to do. Subscribe. You know, you can check out Daniel's socials. I'll drop them down in the description. Everything, anything, you can always contact us. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Yeah, thank you so much, Daniel.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jensen, and I wish all the best for you too.